Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from stampscrapandmore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada, and it has been a minute, but I have a video tutorial for you today. I actually spent the day doing something that I love doing. Once a quarter, myself and about 15 other Canadian Stampin' Up! Leaders, we get together for a day of creativity, and we bring all of our teams together in a Facebook group, and each of the leaders does a 45-minute presentation. This was my presentation. I kicked it off this morning at 10 a.m. Not all of my team members are on Facebook, so I am recreating it to post on YouTube and for you as well. I could upload the video, but there was a lot of chatter in it, and this is just easier. And that way I have another Christmas card that I have ready to send out. If you want, all of the measurements will be found on the blog post. So the blog post will be linked in the bottom of this video description. And on the measurements, the YouTube link will be linked on the measurements and the pictures, etc. So you can use the two of them, use them hand in hand, follow along with the video presentation, and have the written measurements, not the written instructions, because you've got the video for that. All right, so let's get started. Enough of ramble, and we will create a beautiful card for Christmas. So we are going to be using a couple of components, and I'm going to share with you, most of them are from the mini, the September to December mini. We are going to be using the Magical Meadow stamp set and the Magical Meadow dies. We are going to be using the silver and white ribbon. We are going to be using the Snowflake Magic 12 by 12 and the Winter Meadow 12 by 12. We're also going to be using the Melon Mambo foil. I think that was all out of that one. And from the annual catalog, we are going to be using, I'm going to show you that in a second. We're going to be using the holographic trio specialty paper, and we're going to be using the deckled rectangles. Some of these are optional. You don't have to use them if you don't have them. The deckled rectangle, I actually really like the torn edge look of this. You can just cut out a piece of basic white cardstock and you'll get the same look. I'm also going to be using, because I want a card that says Merry Christmas, and this stamp set that we're using, it's a winter themed stamp set. So on the outside of the card, I am going to be using May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. And then on the inside of the card, I'm going to be using the Merry Christmas. I love this font, from the brightest glow. You do not have to do that. You can use whatever you have on hand if you want a Christmas card. If you wanted to, you could actually put, I was going to say type, you could actually stamp winter wishes on the inside of the card. So on the outside, it would say, may this season of sparkle bring joy and delight, winter, and then winter wishes on the inside, or the colder weather brings us together. Totally up to you. I wanted a Merry Christmas card. And let me bring out the card. And so this is the card we're going to be making. I think it's called a bay window card, and opens up, and you'll see where it says Merry Christmas on the inside. And then this flap just tucks under nicely like that. And so it will stand up. Okay. It's one of those cards that you kind of think, do I have to send instructions with it when I mail it off to the recipient? But I think they would figure it out. All right. I'm going to leave that up here for inspiration. I got a really dirty pad of paper here. Sorry, folks. All right. I'm using Lost Lagoon. I'm getting my bone folder. I'm using Lost Lagoon, and it is 4 1/4 by 11. You need to score it at 1/4 inch, 1 1/2 inches, 3 1/4 inches, 4 1/2 inches, and 5 1/2 inches. I will have all of these measurements on the free tutorial that you can find on the blog. There's actually other tutorials that are on the blog as well if you wanted to download them. So I'm just going to fold that at 5 1/2, and then all of these are going to be folded mountain, sorry. And when I say mountain, for those of you that aren't familiar with card making, When you look at the card, this is a peak of that. This would be a mountain. The last one, it's going to be a valley because it's going to be like a V. All right. Now the trick along with this is to make sure when you're scoring that you've got the edges perfectly aligned. It really does make a difference to the final project, and it makes it look a lot nicer when everything is lined up. So there's all the mountains. Now this edge here, I feel a cough coming on, so I may have to pause this. I don't know where that came from. All right, and I'm just going to fold that valley, and I am going to just burnish that with my bone folder. So that's what we have, okay? I'm just put that aside. All right. I'm getting out all my pretty peacock cardstock. So you need, it's easiest if you cut one piece of pretty peacock that is 4 1/8. And that way everything is going to be aligned evenly. So we've got two pieces that are 4 1/8 by 7/8. Okay. We have two pieces that are 4 1/8 by 1 1/8. This card has very narrow matting on it, very narrow matting. If I made it smaller, the images, you wouldn't see the images on the designer series paper on the sides. So it's a very narrow mat. So that's two pretty peacock, 4 1/8 by 1 1/8. We have one piece of pretty peacock that is 4 1/8 and 1 5/8. And we have another piece of pretty peacock that is 4 1/8 by 3 1/2. All right. I do have my Tombow glue out. Tombow glue will be your friend here because, you know, Tombow glue gives you some wiggle room, so it's always good to have use Tombow glue in some projects. I need one piece of basic white that is 3 1/4 by 4. This will get matted on top of that. You can see where we're going with this, right? I have two pieces of the Winter Meadow that are 4 by 3/4 of an inch. And these are going to get matted onto the smallest tabs like that. I don't know if you can see those. Let me move something off my screen there. So these are going to get matted on there. We have two pieces of the specialty designer series paper from the Winter Meadows suite that are 4 by 1. And so they have a little bit of a shine to them. So you'll see that there. These are going to get matted on top of that. And then we have one piece of Winter Meadow that's 4 by 1 1/2. We are going to be using the back side. So that is the front side of that piece right here. So in this case, we're going to be using the back side. You can use whatever side you want. It's totally up to you. And that's going to get matted on top of there. We're also going to be using the ink. Only ink we're going to be using is Lost Lagoon. I have already die cut out one of the deckled rectangles in basic white, and I'm going to show you which one. The second smallest one is what we used. I love this sort of torn edge look of it. You don't have it, guys. You don't have to use this. Cut something that is, I'll tell you, 1 1/2 by 3, and you'll get this similar look. Okay, so that's using the deckled rectangles. The stamp set for the outside we are going to use is, I have it mounted, yeah. May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. The inside, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using Merry Christmas. They kind of have a similar look to them. This one's scripty and this one is scripty, so that kind of matches in my mind. And for the dies, we are going to use this one of these, two of these, and you'll see these have sort of holly berries on them. Now, so I've die cut them out, and I've die cut them out using the pretty peacock, so the same bluish green, right? Two of those, one of those. And then using the trio, holographic trio paper that was part of the stargazing bundle, I think it is. I'm going to die cut out one of these, and that's this one here. Also, what I'm going to be using, the Melon Mambo and the Granny Apple Green foil paper. I have die cut out a bunch of these in the Melon Mambo foil paper, and it's these right here. Okay, they're going to be my berries. At first I thought, and this is the paper. At first I thought, oh my God, Melon Mambo. I wanted something shiny for the berries, but it looks actually really, really nice. I think it does anyhow. I'll show you. I'll show you how it looks. You'll see the Melon Mambo foil paper on the berries. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp actually because the Lost Lagoon ink is quite juicy. So I'm going to stamp this and put it aside so that it has plenty of time to dry and doesn't smudge on me. So this is May the Season of Sparkle, Bring Joy and Delight. Easy peasy. I'm going to put that aside. And now I have my Merry Christmas. And I'm going to break out this one. And just stamp that in the middle. Like that. And now I'm going to put the stamp pad away. I'm going to put the blocks away. And I'm going to just put this up here for a minute or two while I assemble everything else. Okay. So now I have the two pretty peacock that are 4 1/8 by 7/8, and the 2 winter meadow that are 4 by 3/4. And it's the key with this card, I think, is to ensure that everything is lined up horizontally and vertically. So that's why I said cut one piece of pretty peacock that's 4 1/8 by however long you want it, and then cut out the individual pieces. And that way everything will be 4 1/8 tall. And then because I'm using the Tombow glue, it does give me a little bit of wiggle room so that I make sure everything is lined up properly. Okay. I'm surprised how quickly this card comes together. Even the cutting of it is really, I think the hardest part when you create a card is what ink and stamp set do you want to use? Because there's so many options, right? I know I'm going to do the same thing. So 2 pretty peacock that are 4 1/8 by 1 1/8, and 2 winter meadow. I don't think that's what it's called. What's it called? Let me be more efficient. It's called, hold please, Snowflake Magic. So this paper is called Snowflake Magic. And it's a specialty. There is only a print on one side because it's got a bit of a foil to it. And it just adds that little sparkle. Okay, this one's not quite straight. Here we go. This is one of those layouts. It's all over the place right now. That I think it reminds me of traditional Christmas cards from days gone by. I think it reminds me of any of the old-fashioned detailed cards. Okay. And then the last thing we're going to do is we've got the pretty peacock that's 4 1/8 by 1 5/8, and the winter meadow that's 4 by 1 1/2, and we are going to do the same thing. And you'll see how quickly the card really comes together. The most fiddly part, oh, that was terrible. The most fiddly part is decorating the front and getting all of the boughs and berries in the right order and to look right. Okay, so I could put all these Post-it notes away. Here's a tip for you. I don't have them, but I have all my little uh, berries here, and just stick them onto the sticky side of your Post-it note, and that way they're not as likely to fall all over the place. Okay, now we've got the card here again. I'm going to take this panel here, so where the crease is, and I am going to put some Tombow glue down here and create what looks like a book fold. And make sure the top and the bottom are even. This is why it's important to ensure that you've got the scoring straight and the burnishing straight. So now this is, oops, there, that's now sealed to the inside of the card. Now I'm going to start layering these on. Again, I'm using Tombow glue so that I can make sure everything is on the same plane and even north, south, east, west. Okay. And then the next one, the same thing. Assemble this down, making sure that I've got it straight on the top here. I think the eye is more likely to, if it was out of alignment, I think if it's out of alignment on the top, it's more likely to be obvious. And then the larger one, our eyes play tricks on us, right? Even though the top and bottom may be out of alignment, as long as the top is okay, I think you're all right. And I'm going to do the same here. Now, how does it look, guys? Look good? Look good so far? And now this one. And then the panel on the last panel, we have to do something a little bit different with it. I'm just going to add that one here. Okay. Now I can breathe. I am going to adhere this one in first. In past, when I did the card live earlier today, I actually added this one on first, but if this is at all crooked, and it's easier to make that one, for that one to be crooked. So I'm going to add this one first, and I'm just going to make sure that I've got even on the top, the left, and the bottom. And then it will make it easier to put that one on. We need to pop that one up so that the card has something to fold into. Okay, now I'm just making sure I've got north, south, and left is the top, bottom, and left. Okay. Now with this one, we are going to put dimensionals on this, and we are going to pop this up. And we are only going to put dimensionals on this outer side. The very, very first card I made, I'll show you. It's identical, so this is the third one that I've made. But the very first card I made, oh no, I took it apart. I had the dimensionals too close to the top and the edge here, and you could see them, and I really didn't like that. So don't put the dimensionals too close to the top. If you don't have a pretty peacock Stampin' Blends, but if you wanted to, you can take your blends. I'm just using something that's a similar color, and I'm just going to color the edge. Oh, this is a green, but that's okay. I'm just going to color the edge, and that way, if anyone were to see it from the edge, it would somewhat blend in and wouldn't be so white. I'll show you what I mean. See that that's what it would look like compared to, let me see, that one I colored in. Let me get this one out compared to that one. See how you can see that? You can see the white just takes down some of the starkness a little bit. All right, and now I'm going to me, this has always been the tricky part, is to get this straight and even. Because there's no wiggle room here, right? Nope, it's not straight. I should be doing it from the top. I'm talking to myself now, folks. I'm doing it from the top. No, I've got to push it over a little to the right. Okay, I think that's good. All right, and then this is going to tuck in like that. One thing I don't like is, see how you can see the edges here? Like if it kind of slides a little bit. So I am going to notch those edges down, and I'm just going to right on the fold line, do a notch left and right. And that way when it tucks in, you're less likely to see that free edge there sticking out. Okay, so let's put the Merry Christmas on. And yeah, I'm using Tombow again, Tombow glue. I'm rocking my love t-shirt. These are the t-shirts that we were given when we went to backstage, because our final night experience, oh, this one doesn't look like it's cut right. Oh well, it'll work. Our final night experience was they bussed us all to see the Beatles Love at the Mirage, and we all got t-shirts. I'm telling you, as we walked, 9 buses or something like that of us, as we, because we were staying off the strip in at Red Rock Canyon, and as the buses pulled up and dropped us off at the Mirage Hotel, and we're all walking through wearing our blue t-shirts. Everyone, I'm sure they thought, what the heck? Anyhow, so now I'm going to start assembling the front. So whatever we do, we want to make sure that it is centered on this panel, because this will get popped up like that. So we want to make sure it's centered on this panel, but not too far over that it's going, or too far up, right? So I'm going to take, I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to put this one down first, and I am going to take off the bottom like that. And I am going to put dot, dot, dot of adhesive. You can use Tombow, the adhesive sheets if you want. That would have made life easier. But these, I can't use adhesive sheets because we're going to be going over the edge, and I'm just going to pop that down. It's going to be going over the edge, so the adhesive sheets, I don't want it so totally adhered down. I'm just going to put a little bit of Tombow glue there. Okay. And then this is going to go over the edge like that. And again, I am going to cut off a little bit of the bottom. And I'm going to cut a little of the bottom off here. I may or may not use this one. I'm going to see. But what I am going to do, where's my take my pick? Okay, so you again can use adhesive sheets to die cut when you die cut out the little berries, but they're so small that I sometimes have problems with really small items getting the edge of the adhesive sheet off. So I'm just using dot, 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 like really small dots. I'm not putting any down here. And I'm just going to pick it up and lay it down. Pick it up and lay it down. That one's a little off. Pick it up. You get the hint, right? This. And one more. One more in this branch. I noticed that there's a little piece that didn't poke out there. Oh, did one fall off? Nope, it didn't. Okay. And now we're going to do the same with this one, and a little piece of the branch didn't poke out there either. Okay. And now, so that's why like dot, 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 dot. Don't squeeze it, just touch it. And now we're going to do the rest. Like that. Like watching paint dry, folks. So tell me, how are you doing? Everybody good? Can you believe? I think tomorrow is first day of, or was today the first day of fall? I can't remember if it's today or tomorrow. Whoops. There we go. Oh, I got two more. Oh, I missed one on the other branch. You didn't tell me, folks. I missed one. One there. And one here. And I missed one right here. So even though these are Melon Mambo, I think, and I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can see it, I think it looks pretty. There we go. See? Don't they look cute? Three, I've got them all. I got them all. Okay, now I'm going to put this one like that. And I don't want to put adhesive on this end, so I'm only going to put adhesive up until this knuckle, or this branch right here. And I am going to put on the back end of the berries, and just again, touch it oh so lightly, like that. So I only put adhesive on this half, not on this and not on this. And it's okay, it's going to have that sort of free-formed look. And the same here. Let me just make sure I got this right. So I'm going to put adhesive like this at the bottom. I cut the extra one out just in case I need to fill in like that. Okay. Righty. Do I need to fill in anymore? I might. I cut it out, so why not use it? So I'm just going to put some adhesive at the bottom here. Come on, don't clog up on me now. And I'm just going to put some adhesive there, like that. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I've got the Season of Sparkle here. I have some of the ribbon. I do not have any Scotch tape. I usually use Scotch tape for this. So I do have my tear and tape. And I'm going to cut some off, fold this in half. I will be trimming off a lot of it. I just whacked off a chunk of it, wasn't measuring it. Okay, like that, and another piece at the top. Like this. It's over the edge. I'll just trim it off. Oh my gosh, did I ever cut a lot off? Trimming the angles. And now I'm going to pop that up on top of here like that. But I'm going to actually, I only want dimensionals in the middle, right? Because I can't put it on the side. So I'm going to put dimensionals like this. One, and I'm putting them over this connect where all they're connecting, just so that give it a little bit of extra adhesive. I know I'm going overboard with the dimensionals, but I'm going to do one more. Yeah. Yeah. And then there's one last thing we're going to do. I have 3 of the berries left, and I'm going to put them actually on the card. And I'm going to put this here like that, make it flush left and right, or even left and right. And now I have 3 berries left on this, on my Post-it note. If you have any left, you could, or if you have more left, you can use all of them, but I just have 3 left. I think I ran it through twice, and one more here. And so I'm going to actually put these on, they're sticking on me. I'm going to actually put them on the card here. I'm going to put one up here. I'm going to put one here and one here. I kind of like a rhinestone. And if you wanted to, you could put rhinestones down on here to give it even a little bit more sparkle. And one more. A work of art, folks. Oops, I went crazy with glue there. A work of art. That's what we do. It's a work of art. Let me just wipe my hands off on my pants. Here we go. Oh, there was another one there. Oh, did it fall off? No, there was another one. Okay, and there's the card. And it stands up like that. I can trim this off just a little bit more, like that. But it will go into the card. It will go into the envelope like that with no problem. And then on the inside, it says Merry Christmas. What you think? What you think? And there's the card. Let me come over. Yeah, isn't that a beauty? I hope you like that. So I think that's called a bay window card. And on the blog, stampscrapandmore.com, under tutorials, I will have the measurements there, a sheet that you can print out. And on that will also be the link to this video so that you can combine the two and hopefully inspire you. Thanks for stopping by today. I appreciate you and your support. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like the video and follow for more inspiration. Take care, happy stamping, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.